What is Maundy Thursday and why is it important? My name is Greg Simpson. I'm the minister at St. Andrew's United Church. And I just wanted to go through some of these phrases that you might not have encountered before. Or maybe you've seen it listed on a bulletin or a coming announcements and you had no idea what Maundy Thursday was all about. So this comes immediately before Good Friday. So this is during the time of Lent, just before Easter. Maundy Thursday is the day that we as Christians gather to commemorate and to speak about and to remember the last meal that Jesus had with his closest friends, his disciples. We commemorate that lots of other times through the year. Depending on what tradition you might be part of, you might celebrate Eucharist or communion every single Sunday. Some churches celebrate it once a month, some once a quarter. There's lots of different shapes of this, but a common meal where there is wine or grape juice and crackers or bread or wafers of some sort. This is what we do to celebrate and remember the last time that Jesus ate with his friends. There's lots of layers of dogma and lots of discussions about what actually happens to the bread and the wine during a communion celebration. And each tradition is different. And this is a place where over the years, lots of people have got really, really heated about lots of other people. I'm going to stay away from all of that. Because the beautiful part about an agape feast, which is another word for it, in fact, Jesus uses that phrase, agape meaning love, caring for others, this selfless, caring, sacrificial love. One of the beautiful parts about an agape meal, a Eucharist, a communion, is that we gather together and we break bread. We eat together. So let's pause on Maundy Thursday for just a minute and think about the last time that you sat and had a meal with somebody. Maybe it was your family, maybe it was some friends. You sat with a girlfriend or a roommate, or maybe you broke bread with your workmates. There's something special that happens in the conversations during a meal. And so that we can connect to. We can see the humanity in that. And so, thinking about Jesus eating for the last time with his friends, what a powerfully important thing for him to do. And he spoke with them in very loving and caring sorts of ways. The gospel writers describe that he knew that this was near the end for him, that he knew that his time was nigh, that he was about to die. So knowing that, he left them with some beautiful phrases, some beautiful actions, and these are the things that we celebrate on Maundy Thursday. He reminded them to love one another. And he shaped that by saying, love one another as you have been loved, or it can also be translated as I have loved you. This is a beautiful, beautiful reminder. How many times do we need to be reminded that? To take the beautiful feeling that we feel when we are loved, that warm, encompassing, safe, cared for feeling, and share that with other people. Jesus reminded them to do that. And the other thing that the gospel writers tell us that happened that evening is that after the meal, he washed his disciples' feet. Now, culturally, that was a very lowly and humble thing to do. They didn't have the same relationship with taking a bath every day the same way as we do, but when they walked from place to place, their feet would be dusty and filthy. And to have somebody else wash your feet, it was a very calming and lovely thing. And he did that for them. But also, it was a lowly and a humble thing. He was their teacher, he was their leader, he was their friend. It would often have been some worker or slave in the house that would do the washing of feet. So by him taking that action, he was not just telling them to love others the way that they've been loved. He was showing them that there is a humility, that there is a servitude, that there is a nature of putting others first that comes along with this love he was describing. Now, on Maundy Thursday this year, I wonder if you might go to a Maundy Thursday service. Perhaps the church that you attend right now doesn't do that, and so if they don't, maybe call around to another church in your area that does. Specifically, if you're looking for Roman Catholic or Eastern Orthodox, they are most likely going to have one of those services. Different Protestant denominations do or don't. You'll have to call around. But be aware that there's lots of dogma that gets wrapped in with these conversations, and feel free to let that slide if it's not the dogma that you particularly believe in. And sit with the actions of a man who had very dear friends that he knew he wasn't going to see again. When we let ourselves step into the humanity of the biblical stories, they come to life for us. Heck, maybe you're not a Christian. Maybe you don't care particularly about Christianity, but I'm going to invite you anyhow. If you're up for it, visit a Maundy Thursday service. Maybe specifically choose a church that has fairly liberal leanings, not deeply conservative, very literal church, but somebody that's going to sit with some of the more open and social implications sorts of theologies. It's not always easy to find. You might have to look around, talk to some of your Christian friends. They'll know what I'm talking about. But there's something truly beautiful about spending an evening celebrating a man who loved his friends, who gave them some traditions to carry forward and remember him by, who reminded them to love one another in the way that they have been loved. And he humbled himself by washing their feet. Even if you don't attend a Maundy Thursday service, let's all commit to just being a little bit more like that. People who will love our friends the way we've been loved. People who will take acts of servitude to humble ourselves that others may be lifted up. Can you imagine what our world would look like with just a little less selfishness and a little more humility? I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me for this video. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.